Good morning. Welcome to operating system class. In today's class, we will emphasize more on disk scheduling. So the most important contents towards operating system usage will be one, we call it as process management algorithms, two, we call it as memory management algorithms, and three, we will be calling the disk scheduling algorithms. So first come first serve, round robin, priority scheduling, shortest job first. These four algorithms, they fall under the process scheduling algorithms. So FCFS followed by least recent used and optimal. They are going to turn into the memory management algorithms and scan algorithm, FCFS algorithm, shortest seek time, SSTF algorithm. These items they are going to be taken up in the disk scheduling algorithms. So as you are aware that when we consider a disk, when we are going to consider a disk is going to be interpreted in such a way that the items are going to be in form of cylinders, right? In form of cylinders. So the volume is going to be taken up in such a way that the cylinders do have tracks, do have sectors. So we have a number of tracks and some rectangular part what we are going to consider. That item we are going to call that one as a sector item, right? So as far as cylinders followed by tracks followed by sectors, then we have a file allocation table FAT, and that it is going to be mapped into the in-memory location of a page table, which it is going to be addressed in the kernel space. So this was the background what we are going to emphasize much on. Fine. So the main intention was to take up the bandwidth, to take up the seek time. So how much time a CPU is going to move from one location to another location when there was a seek operation, right? So to do that seek operation, we are going to produce a disk scheduling algorithms, and in this disk scheduling algorithms, we do have the item called as disk cylinders, and assume that in this example, we are going to take up the disk cylinders which are between the range from 0 to 199, which are between the range from 0 to 199, and they do have 98, 183, 137, 122, 40, 124, 65, and 67. These items, they are going to be called it the cylinder request. So from the current position to where the operating system sees that the disk arm of the memory is going to be moved. So that is where we are going to call it as disk scheduling. That means I have a disk here, I have a disk, and I am at 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, how a arm is going to move from 0 to 2, from 3 to 2, 3 to 1. In this way, how a disk is going to move from one location to another location, that it has to be interpreted in a map, where that algorithm, we are going to call those algorithms as disk scheduling algorithms. So disk scheduling algorithms, they do have some items which take up the things in form of cylinders. Now let us look into this algorithm. There are 200 cylinders. There are 200 cylinders which are numbered from 0 to 199, and the present location was at 53, and the location was at 53. Now assume we are going to use a disk scheduling algorithm, and the name of a disk scheduling was first come first serve. That means presently the CPU was having the arm at 53, then it has to move to 98, then it has to move to 198, then followed by 37 to 122, 40, 20, 124, 65, and 67. So in this way, the arm has to move from one location to another location in a policy called as first come, first serve. So how is it moving? That is the primary agenda here. So now we are going to take a small interpretation of a disk scheduling algorithm, and we have disk schedulers which is going to be ranged between 0 to 199. It should be between 0 to 199. So the wall end it is at 0 and the wall end it is at 199. That is nothing but the 200 location. Now we have to first write the ascending order. We have to first write the ascending order of the disk request. So what was the ascending order of the disk request? The first one will be 14. Then we can see that the next one will be 37. Thereby, after 14, I'm going to write the ascending order as 27. Then followed by 65, followed by 67, and thereby after 67 we have some 98, and thereby we do have some 122, 124, and next item we are going to have as 183. So we got some ready queue where the cylinders are going to be requested, and thereby we are going to mention the order. Now plot these items. Now plot the item 14, plot the item 37, plot the item 65, plot the item 67, followed by 98, 122, 124, and 183. Right? So what is the stages we have done? We have taken height is equals to 53. So 53, we do have 53 item here. So 53 followed by 65, 67, right? So we have these items. Now the head position is going to be located at this position called as 53, right? Presently the head position was at 53. Now first come first serve. So in the ready queue, which is first? 98 is first. So directly it moves to 98. After 98, what was the request? The ready queue request was at 183. It goes to 183. After 183, what was the request? It was 37. Now this R will go to 37. After 37, what was the request? It goes to 122. After 122, what was the request? 14. Then it goes to 14. After 14, what was the request? 124. So it is going to move to 124. After 124, what was the request? 65. Then it is going to move to 65, and thereby it is going to end up at 67, which is consecutive element. So we satisfied item number 14 at this point. We satisfied 37 at this point, 53 at this point, 63, 65, 67, 98, 122, and I think 122. Then we went for 14. After 14, yeah. So we went at this item. I think I can give it as 122, followed by 124. So in this model, we are going to interpret. So I will reiterate the chain again. I will reiterate the chain again. So assume what was the head position? What was the head position? 53. So head arm was at 53. After 53, it has to go to 98. Yeah. After 98, it has to move to 183. After 183, it has to go to 37. After 37, it has to go to 122. After 122, it has to go to 14. After 14, it has to move to 124. After 124, it has to move to 65, and thereby it is going to move up with 67. So this is how we are going to iterate the model with first come, first serve. Okay. This is item number 1. Next, what was the second algorithm? The second algorithm was shortest seek time first from the location where the header is. From where the header is, from that item, what is going to be the shortest. That is we are going to consider. So again, we are going to take the same example. In that same example, we are going to say there is a range between 0 to 199. There is a range between 0 to 199, and the header was at 53, and the items are there. Now these items, first we have to write it in the ascending order. So if I am going to write the items in ascending order, it is 14 followed by 37, followed by the header position 53, 65, 67, 98, 122, 124, and 183. So this is how we are going to write the things. Okay. Now what was the second algorithm name? The name of the second algorithm was shortest seek time first. How we are going to analyze the things in shortest seek time first? Now the disk R. Now the disk R was at 53. That is the starting position. For 53, which is the shortest item? It can be 37, it can be 65. It can be 37 or it can be 65. Okay, which is shortest? Now I am going to compute the difference here. 53 minus 37. So I am going to get it as 16 as a difference. Next, 53 65 minus 53. Now I am going to have the difference as 12. So 30 minus 7. I am going to get it as 16. So as a difference, 65 minus 53. I am going to have 12 as a difference. So in this way, the shortest item, that is minimum distance, the minimum distance from the current item. The minimum distance from the current item was as this 65. So it goes up to here, right? Again, from 65, what is shortest? Whether it is what is shortest? Whether it is 67 or whether it is 37. Obviously, 67 is going to be only 2 items, so it goes to 67. Again, from 67, 37 is shortest or 98 is shortest. So again, 98 is shortest. From 98, 122 is shortest or 37 is shortest. Okay, so 122 is shortest. 122 to 124, 2 is shortest or 37 is shortest. So obviously, 2 item difference is shortest. Next, 122 to 183, it is around 40. But if it is 37, it is around 120 distance. So it goes to 183. Then there is no other option. Now it goes to 37. Right? Again, from 37, what was the distance here? So it goes to 40. So in this way, the shortest path, the shortest distance is identified from the present location, and thereby it is going to move in an order what we are going to interpret that item. We call it as shortest time first. In first come first serve algorithm, we take the ready queue, we plot the items as per the ready queue because it is going to be in first come first serve. But in shortest seek time first, we are going to take the header position, and to this header position, which is going to be the nearest item, we are going to assume, and thereby we are going to interpret the things. So that is where we are going to get this SSTF algorithm. That is where we are going to get the items called as SSTF algorithms. So I think there was a mistake here, right? There was a mistake here. Up to here it was correct. Up to here it was correct. So what was the distance between 67 and 98? The distance between 67 and 98 was 31. What was the distance between 67 and 37? Now the distance was only 30, right? So the distance between 67 and 98 is going to be 31, and the distance between 67 and 30 was 30. So at this case, we have to go to 30, which is going to be the shortest item. So the algorithm is going to move in this fashion. It moves to 37, right? Rather than 97, it is going to move to the 37th position. So a correction here. So we are going to have the 37th position at this item. Now, from 37, obviously we don't have any issues. We will not have any issues because it is already requests are going to be taken up. So, from 37, nearest, so 14 followed by 98. So, it goes to 14 here. So, now there is from 14 to 98. From 14 to 122. Obviously, 98 is going to be the least item. So it goes to 98, 122, 124, and thereby to 183. Right? So in shortest sleep time first, it is going to arm is going to be at 53. Then it computes whether it goes to 37 or 65. 65 is shortest. 65 to 67 or 65 to 37. 67 is shortest. 65 to 98 or 65 to 37. If this is 2, the distance is 30 here, the distance is 31 here. Therefore, it goes to the shortest element, that is 37. So, it goes to 37 here. After 37, 37 to 14, the distance is small, or 37 to 98, distance is small. So, obviously, it goes to 14 item. So, it moves to 14. Okay, fine. From 14 to 98 or 14 to 122, defaultly 98 will be the shortest, so in this way it is going to move up. So that is item number 2. Now let us look into the third algorithm. Let us look into the third algorithm of disk scheduling. That is third item of disk scheduling. Thus we are going to call as scan algorithm. SCAN. Scan algorithm. So here also disk skeletons will be 0 to 90. We are taking the same example. Starting position was 53 and ready queue items are the same. Now if I am going to write it in an ascending order, it should be in the same order. Now what is the difference, or what was the key item it is going to do is request will process complete to one end and touches the boundary and thereby moves to other end. Okay, this was the principle. It is going to move to one end, goes to 0, then it goes to another stretching item, that is scan algorithm. Next algorithm was it was the S-scan algorithm. It was C-scan algorithm. It was C-scan algorithm. So in this C-scan algorithm, C-scan algorithm, it is going to have some uniform item. It is going to have some uniform item, and it is going to regulate in a model in such a way that look algorithm, it doesn't touch the boundaries in such a way that it does not touch the boundaries. It does not touch the boundaries. So that was the key difference what we are going to understand. Yeah, 1 second. It is scan followed by C-scan. So the difference was it goes with uniform wait time and does not process request in return touch the boundaries of other end and start processing. Next, I will explain it. Fine. Now let us look into the third algorithm called as scan algorithm. So in this scan algorithm, we are going to draw the items like this. So 0 followed by 199. Now we are going to have the ascending orders of the queue, that is 14, 37, 53. So 53, it is going to be the header position. Thereby, we are going to have 65 followed by 67, followed by 98, 122, 124, and 180. These are the requests, right? Now, from 53, scan algorithm it provides the request from one end to another end, touches the boundaries, and thereby it is going to process the request. So first it moves at 53. Goes to 57, goes to 67, process 98, process 122, process 124, process 183, and remember, this is important. It touches the boundary. It touches the boundary, and after touching the boundary, it goes back, process 37, process 14, and there is no more request, so it stops here. Assume there was a request at 40. Assume there was a request at 40. Then it touches to 0 and come back to 40. Okay? Assume there was a request called as 40. Then it touches to 0 and thereby it comes back. Okay? Now what was scan definition? The definition of a scan was the current position of the header was 53. Then it chooses one edge it has to process. Okay, it is choosing towards the right hand edge, upper side edge. And it processes all the cylinder requests which are going to be there. What are the cylinder requests? It can be 65, it can be 67, it can be 98, 122, 153, 183. And it touches the boundary. What was the boundary end? The boundary end was 199. After that, it comes back, process the request, process the request. Assume there is a 40th request here. Assume there is a 40th request here. It touches 0 and thereby it goes to 40. So that is how the scan is going to be differentiated. That is how a scan is going to be differentiated. Now, what is the working principle of scan? Very little modification of the C scan is going to be interpreted. What was the little difference was, first of all, I am going to have the items between 0 to 199. Then we are going to have the processing elements. Then we are going to have the processing elements, that is 0, 14, 37, 53, 63, 67, 98. 122, 123, 183, followed by 90. So this is common, right? We are going to have the ready queue. Ready queue items are going to be written in ascending order, and they are written. Up to then, table format is very clear, right? Now, where was the header position? Header position starting address was at 53. Starting position was at 53. This is the starting position. Now, what is C-scan algorithm? It is going towards the boundary. After it touches the boundary, it will touch the other end rather than processing 14 or 37. I will show you with an example. So it goes processing with 67, processing with 63, 67, 98, 122, 123, 187. Now it has to touch the boundary, right? Now it has to touch the boundary. It touches the boundary. Now, if it is going to process 37, it is same as C-scan. If it is going to touch 37, it is same as C-scan, but it will not do like that. It will touch the other boundary first. It will touch the other boundary first. What this one is going to do in scan, it is going to touch 37, touch 14, then touch the this scan algorithm, it is going to touch the first upper boundary, then directly then 47. Okay, we should understand the difference at this item. We should understand the difference at this item, right? So, the scan algorithm, when it reaches to 97, it is going to have at 37, then it is going to have at 14. In this way, it is moving. But as far as C-scan algorithm is concerned, it is going to touch to the boundary, 0th boundary here. After touching the 0th boundary, then it is going to move to 14, then it is going to move to 37. This was the core difference between the algorithm process of scan algorithm and the algorithm process of C-scan algorithm, right? So now we have talked up to first come first serve algorithm. Later on we talked about SSTF algorithm. Third one we talked about scan algorithm. Fourth one we talked about C-scan algorithm, right? After C-scan algorithm, the last algorithm in disk scheduling was C-loop algorithm. The one more algorithm, what it is going to be processed in this disk scheduling will be the C-loop algorithm. C-loop algorithm. C-loop algorithm. So again, what was C-loop algorithm processing? What was the difference was? It doesn't touch the boundaries. Only one line difference between C-scan, scan, and C-loop. It will not touch the boundaries. That is the core aspect what we should understand as far as C-loop is going to be concerned. It is not going to touch the boundaries. Rest of the items is common here. That is here. I will just explain it again. 199 followed by the items which it is going to be in ascending order. 14, 37, 53, 63, 67, 98, 98, 122, 123, 180. These are the items. Okay. Where was the header position? The header position was at 53. We get the header position at 53. Then it has to touch one boundary which is towards its maximum, towards its right. So it goes to 63, it goes to 65, 98, 122, 123, 183. Now, understand the difference between C-scan and C-loop. It is touching the boundary, right? This one is cut off. This C-scan is touching the boundary, right? At this time, it will not touch the boundary. Second correction. Again, it is touching the boundary at the minimum value. It is touching the boundary at the. It is touching the lower boundary and it is touching the upper boundary, right? So, in C-scan algorithm, it is touching the upper boundary and it is touching the lower boundary. This correction was eliminated to save the latency time, to save the sleep time. In order to get a higher bandwidth of time, it is going to see that this time is waste because nobody asked the request at 199. Again, 0 to 40. That time is also waste because there is no request in the ready queue to touch between 0 to 14. So, touching the lower boundary, touching the upper boundary is going to be eliminated, and that is where we are going to take it at C-loop. So, boundary touch is eliminated here. So touching the boundary is going to be eliminated. After 183, it directly processes to the 14th. It directly processes to the lower boundary item 14, and thereby it is going to catch up with 37. So it goes with 30, it goes with upper boundary end. After moving to upper boundary end, it goes to the lower boundary and then it goes to the next processing item. So that is what we are going to call it as C-look algorithm. So in C-look algorithm, the boundary items are going to be eliminated, right? So a quick recap of the 5 algorithms we will do right now, okay? A quick recap of 5 algorithms we will take up right now. So, first one was FCFS, right? The first algorithm will be FCFS. What are the ready queue items? Ready queue items. What was the ready queue items? Item was 98. Item was after 98. Item was 183, followed by 37, 183, 37, 122. Item was 98, 183, 37, 122, 14, 124, 65 and 67. Where is the header? Header is at 53. This is constant, right? Header is at 53. Now, what is the algorithm we have to take up? FCFS. So, how is this FCFS is going to take up? Now, table has to be written in ascending order. Table has to be written in ascending order. That is 0, 14, followed by 37, followed by 53, 63, 67, 98, 122, 123, 183, and the upper boundary was 199. Right? We will solve the 5 algorithms right now. First algorithm should be FCFS. Second algorithm will be scan. Third algorithm or second algorithm should be SSTF. Third will be scan. Fourth one will be C-scan. C-scan. Fifth one will be C-look. C-look. We have to do all the algorithms. Okay, start. First one, first come, first serve. Where is the header position? 53. Then in ready queue, which is first one? 98. Go to 98. After 98, it is 183. Go to 183. After 183, 37. After 37, 122. After 122, 14. After 14, 120, 122, I think, right? 122. 120, sorry, this is 123. So, followed by 123. Oh, sorry, 122. After 122, I think you take it up. 123, then it has to move to 65, then it has to move to 67. This is item number 1. So, FCFS, whatever items are there in the ready queue, those items are going to be presented. First, it should goes to 98, 183, 37, 122, 14. 123, 65, 67. In this way, it has to move. Now, let us look into the second item, SSTF. Let us look into the second item, SSTF. Okay. Now, ascending order 0, 14, 37, 53, 63, 67, 98, 122, 123, 183, 199. What is the header position? Default header position was 53. Okay, from 53, what is the shortest? 63, 37, which is shortest. So, how do I know shortest? 53 minus 37, it is 16. 63 minus 53, then it is going to be some 10. So obviously it has to go to the 63 item. 63, 67. From 63, which is shortest? 98 or 37? From 63, 67, which is lowest? 98 or 37? 37. So it goes to 37. From 37, 14 is shortest, 98 is shortest. Which is shortest? 14 is shortest. So it goes to 14. From 14, 98 is shortest or 122 is shortest? 98 is shortest. So it goes to 98, 122, 123, 187. That is the technique number 2. Now let us look into technique number 3. Let us go and look into the technique number 3. So technique number 3 was we talked about SSTS followed by scan. So what is the principle of scan? Right? So it goes until the lower boundary, then it is going to lower side, then it is going to move to the upper side. Right? It is going to take up at 53, 37, 14, then 65. In this way, it is going to move up. So the third thing was it is going to move to the lower boundary 37, 14. Then it goes to the upper end 63, 65, 98, 122, and 123. So that is the item. What we are going to call it as scan algorithm, right? So header was at 53. Then it goes towards the lower end 37, 14. Then it goes to the upper end 63, 67 towards the end. Next, after scan, we do have C-scan. So after scan algorithm is over, we do have C-scan algorithm. So how is this C-scan algorithm work? So it touches the boundary and then it is going to move to the other end. So how it is going to touch the boundary? So first of all, it is at 53, goes to 63, 67, 98, 122, 123. So 97, then it is going to come back to this. Then it is going to process with 14 followed by 37. Right? It is going to touch up to the boundaries. It is touching the lower end and it is touching the upper end. It is touching the lower boundary and it is touching the upper boundary. So the drawback here was there is no request between 183 to 199. There is no request between 0 to 14. Why you should touch the boundaries? So to eliminate that, they went with an item called as the last algorithm. That is CLOOK algorithm. So in CLOOK algorithm, the last item is processed and thereby it is going to process the items which are at the lower end instead of not touching the boundaries. Instead of not touching the boundaries between 183 and 199, CLOOK algorithm, it is not touching of the boundaries. So that was the major correction in this CLOOK items. Right? So in today's class, we talked about this scheduling algorithm. Then we talked about 5 scheduling algorithms which fall under this. One we call it as FCMS, 2 SS, shortest seek time first, then scan algorithm, C-scan algorithm, and VLOOK algorithm. So that is all for today. Thank you for joining.